It's a done deal. Syracuse basketball, after last night's win over Binghamton, they are 100% a lock to make the NCAA tournament. I'm just kidding. But this commenter may not be kidding, because he says, "We are going dancing, baby," with a bunch of emojis. A orange, a basketball, a strong emoji, and a 100 emoji. Shout out to this person for their optimism. This person did not leave their name. That is okay. But hey, I love the optimism that you think after one game, Syracuse basketball is going to the NCAA tournament. But we got to slow down a little bit. Let's pump the brakes. Deep breath. Good start. Really good start. Really impressed. Am I convinced after one game that this is going to be a tournament team? Not yet. They need to do a lot more. This is only one of 30 plus games that they're going to play this season, and it was against Binghamton. And to this commenter, remember how earlier in this podcast, I cited the example, or I cited the last time Syracuse basketball held a team to under 50 points and how it was early in the 22-23 season. Syracuse basketball did not make the tournament that year. In fact, they did not come close. That was the final year of the Jim Boeheim era. They lost in the ACC tournament on a walk-off buzzer beater to Wake Forest. I remember that day very well. Same type of situation where you held a team under 50. They missed the tournament that year, and they were not particularly good. However, this is where we can be optimistic and understand the situation that Syracuse basketball is in. I have been preaching for a very long time on this show. You got to go back to maybe when I started here at Locked On Syracuse in February of 2024. That's right. Now I feel like a veteran of this show. And I've always said in college sports that style points matter. It's just the way it works. I didn't design the system. Don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you like it is. And this is how a lot of it is done, because you have a lot of teams in the country who are going to have similar records. And so there's got to be a way that we can separate some of these teams. And so ultimately, a lot of it comes down to style points. It's how you look. Obviously, if you win a certain amount of games, the style points are no longer going to matter, except they will matter. Because you can win 27 games, but if you don't look particularly good during the year, that could impact your tournament seeding. There could be a team that wins 25 games that gets a 5 seed, but you're stuck at a 7 seed. So style points matter. And so along those lines, this is where we can be optimistic. Syracuse basketball, with a 38-point win over Binghamton, they rose 7 spots in KenPom. They started the season at 68. Last time I checked, they are at 61. You do that 3 more times heading into Vegas, if you can continuously try to rise 7 spots, think about where you could be. You could be right on the edge of NCAA tournament consideration already. So, are they going dancing? Time is going to tell. We don't know that just yet. We cannot make that determination after one game. But what we can acknowledge is that it was a job well done. And that Syracuse basketball, by blowing out Binghamton, by playing a complete 40 minutes, the metrics smiled upon them and said, hey, you're going up 7 spots in KenPom. By the way, you want to know another flaw, by the way, about these systems? If you want to rant about systems real quick, anyone catch that Boise State lost to a Division II team? They lost to a Division II team? Anyone catch that? Did not affect them. Because teams don't get rewarded or penalized by playing Division II teams, even if it's in the regular season. It's very similar to a few years ago when Syracuse took on Chaminade in Maui. They blew them out by 50, but it does not matter does not count towards your net. It does not count towards your Ken Palm, your Evan Maya, whatever advanced metric you want to use. So the system is not perfect. I don't think it's perfect at all. I don't think it's close. I think the system, by the way, they need to account for garbage time. I think it's absurd that you need to play your starters in the final 3 minutes of a game when you're up 30 points to try to win by 40 instead of 30, or winning by 20, or whatever the case may be. I think there are many flaws with the system that is in place, but it is the system that we have. And so as a result, instead of crying about the system, Syracuse just needs to take advantage of it. Figure out how to beat the system. That's what they did last night. We'll see if they'll go tournament dancing, though. We'll find out. But good comment. Let's get to the next one here from Gene. We do need to make those open shots, especially the threes in regular season. And Turney, you are absolutely right that Syracuse basketball needs to hit their open shots. What more do you want me to say? I can continue to add to it. Don't get me wrong. I have plenty of notes written down. But Gene, you're spot on. You're absolutely right. There were really only two negatives from this game. Number one, J.J. Starling going down with an injury. That's not fun. That's not cool. We don't want anyone to get hurt. And number two, it was the three-point shooting. And the fact that Syracuse went 4 for 21. That is less than 20% in a game. But Gene, I liked how you phrased that take. I don't even know if it's really a take. I liked how you phrased the comment, Gene, because you said open shots. Were there really a lot of moments in this game against Binghamton last night where you felt that Syracuse was settling for jumpers, settling for outside shots? I mean, last night on the post-game show, I pointed out one example where it was in the first half and Donnie and Naithan George, they're just playing catch at the top of the key. Nobody's moving around. It gets to the end of the shot clock. Donnie hoists up a three, and of course it doesn't go in. That's an empty possession. That was just completely unproductive. That's what drives me nuts. But most of the time, Syracuse was getting good looks, and they were not hitting them. And so, Gene, you're absolutely right that they do need to go in, but at least the process for the most part was there. I don't know if it's going to turn around, but I'll take the process for now because it's only one game in the year and it didn't hurt them yet. Obviously, when we talk down the line, when Syracuse is playing, really good teams, the three-point shots are going to have to go down. But I mean, look, from last night, Tyler Betsy, he goes 1 for 7. Nate Kings goes 0 for 3. Donnie goes 0 for 2. I think Kiyan went 1 for 3. Sadiq went 0 for 2. Somebody eventually just has to hit some shots. I'd prefer it to be Nate Kings because Nate Kings last year at Oregon State shot nearly 45% from the three-point line, and he did it on, I think, nearly 5 three-point attempts per game. So he was a high-volume, highly efficient three-point shooter. I was pumped when Syracuse got him. Hopefully the shots start falling.